Hello, scholars, and welcome to day 2 of the one and only Ivan. Very exciting. I hope that you enjoyed our first few chapters last week, and you're going to continue to enjoy them today. So today, like every day when we are starting our Ivan, you're going to start on your quick write, which is on page 3 of your packet. All right, so on page 3 of your packet, it says quick write. Above quick write, it says chapter 12 through 23, the one and only Ivan, pages 23 through 45. And our quick write today asks, have you ever been to a circus? If so, what did you think of it? If not, what would you think it would be like? All right, go ahead, take a few minutes to write your answer. So scholars, I just finished my answer. If your answer took you less time to write than it took me to write, I want you to take a few more minutes. Your goal is to fill up all of the lines, the 4 lines that you have there. Can you fill those up with an answer? Okay. Whoops. All right, friends, this is what I wrote for my quick write. I wrote, no, I have never been to a circus. I think it would be kind of sad because the animals are trapped, right? So in circuses, they train animals to do things that we want them to do as humans. And a lot of times the animals don't have a lot of choice. So I think that it would be a little bit sad. Okay. Next, we're doing our vocabulary words. All right, friends, our first word is lush. What word? Lush means luxuriant and rich. Jungly. What's the word? Lush. Our second word is precision. What word? Precision. Precision means accuracy. What word? Precision. Third word is wily. What word? Wily means shrewd, clever, sharp. What's the word? Wily. And then our last word for today is undaunted. What word? Undaunted means unafraid and fearless. What's the word? Undaunted. All right, if I were to use these words in a sentence, first word, lush. The lush greenery made the house look beautiful. The word is lush. Precision. She shot her arrow with such precision that she got a bullseye. The word is precision. The fox was wily as it stole the eggs from the hen's nest. The word is wily. My daughter was undaunted as she scaled the slide that was 10 times higher than she was. The word is undaunted. All right, scholars. So for today, I'm going to read pages 23 through 40. And you are going to read pages 41 through 45, either on your own, silently, to a parent or adult that you have around, a stuffed animal, or you can just read it to yourself out loud if you want to too. All right, we are on page 23. So everyone find 23 in the one and only Ivan. So we are on page 23. This is chapter 12. It's called TV. My visitors are often surprised when they see the TV Mac put in my domain. They seem to find it odd, the sight of a gorilla staring at tiny humans in a box. Sometimes I wonder, though, isn't that the way they stare at me, sitting in my tiny box, just as strange? My TV is old. It doesn't always work, and sometimes days will go by before anyone remembers to turn it on. I'll watch anything, but I'm particularly fond of cartoons with their bright jungle colors. I especially enjoy it when someone slips on a banana peel. Bob, my dog friend, loves TV almost as much as I do. He prefers to watch professional bowling and cat food commercials. Bob and I have seen many romance movies too. In romance, there is much hugging and sometimes face licking. I have yet to see a single romance starring a gorilla. I also enjoy old Western movies. In a Western, someone always says, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Sheriff." In a Western, you can tell who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, and the good guys always win. Bob says Westerns are nothing like real life. So that's a picture of his TV. And you can see how old it is. See, it even has antennas and everything. Page 25, The Nature Show. I have been in my domain for 9,855 days. Alone. For a while, when I was young and foolish, I thought I was the last gorilla on Earth. I try not to dwell on it. Still, it's hard to stay upbeat when you think there are no more of you. Then, one night, after I watched a movie about men in black hats with guns and feeble-minded horses, a different show came on. It was not a cartoon, not a romance, not a Western. I saw a lush forest. I heard birds murmuring. The grass moved. The trees rustled. Then I saw him. He was a bit threadbare and scrawny, and not as good-looking as I am, to be honest, but sure enough, he was a gorilla. As suddenly as he had appeared, the gorilla vanished, and in his place was a scruffy white animal called, I learned, a polar bear, and then a chubby water creature called a manatee, and then another animal, and another. All night I sat wondering about the gorilla I'd glimpsed. Where did he live? Would he ever come to visit? If there was a he somewhere, could there be a she as well? Or was it just the two of us in all the world, trapped in our own separate boxes? Page 27, Stella. Stella says she is sure I will see another real live gorilla someday, and I believe her because she is even older than I am and has eyes like black stars and knows more than I will ever know. I see a simile. What is the simile there? I'll read it again. And I believe her because she is even older than I am and has eyes like black stars and knows more than I will ever know. Eyes like black stars. That's right. It's comparing Stella's eyes to black stars, and it uses the word like, so we know that it's a simile. Stella is a mountain. Next to her, I am a rock, and Bob a grain of sand. Now that's 3 metaphors in a row, right? Because we are comparing Stella to a mountain, Ivan to a rock, and Bob to a grain of sand. And we're not using like or as there, are we? So those 3 are metaphors. So we have a simile and 3 metaphors already on this page. Excellent. Let's keep reading. Every night when the stores close and the moon washes the world with milky light, Stella and I talk. We don't have much in common, but we have enough. We are huge and alone, and we both love yogurt raisins. Sometimes Stella tells stories of her childhood, of leafy canopies hidden by mist, and the busy songs of flowing water. Unlike me, she recalls every detail of her past. Stella loves the moon, with its untroubled smile. I love the feel of the sun on my belly. She says, "It's quite a belly, my friend," and I say, "Thank you, and so is yours." We talk, but not too much. Elephants, Like gorillas, do not waste words. Stella used to perform in a large and famous circus, and she still does some of those tricks for our show. During one stunt, Stella stands on her hind legs while Snickers jumps on her head. It's hard to stand on your hind legs when you weigh more than 40 men. If you are a circus elephant and you stand on your hind legs while a dog jumps on your head, you get a treat. If you do not, the claw stick comes swinging. Elephant hide is as thick as bark on an ancient tree. Another simile. Elephant hide is as thick as bark on an ancient tree, but a claw stick can pierce it like a leaf. Another simile. Once Stella saw a trainer hit a bull elephant with a claw stick. A bull is like a silverback, noble, contained, calm, like a cobra is calm. Simile. When the claw stick caught in the bull's flesh, he tossed the trainer into the air with his tusk. The man flew, Stella said, like an ugly bird. She never saw the bull again. What do you think happened to the bull? Yeah. Page 30, Stella's trunk. Stella's trunk is a miracle. She can pick up a single peanut with elegant precision, tickle a passing mouse, tap the shoulder of a dozing keeper. Her trunk is remarkable, but still it can't unlatch the door of her tumble-down domain. Circling Stella's legs are long ago scars from the chains she wore as a youth. Her bracelets, she calls them. When she worked at the famous circus, Stella had to balance on a pedestal for her most difficult trick. One day, she fell off and injured her foot. When she went lame, so when her foot got hurt, and lagged behind the other elephants, the circus sold her to Mac. Stella's foot never healed completely. She limps when she walks, and sometimes her foot gets infected when she stands in one place for too long. Last winter, Stella's foot swelled to twice its normal size. She had a fever, and she lay on the damp, cold floor of her domain for 5 days. They were very long days. Even now, I'm not so sure she's completely better. She never complains, though, so it's hard to know. At the Big Top Mall, no one bothers with iron shackles. A bristly rope tied to a bolt in the floor is all that's required. They think I'm too old to cause trouble, Stella says. Old age, she says, is a powerful disguise. A plan. Page 32, a plan. It's been 2 days since anyone's come to visit. Mac is in a very bad mood. He says we are losing money hand over fist. Losing money hand over fist? Idiom. He says he's going to sell the whole lot of us. When Thelma, a blue and yellow macaw, demands, "Kiss me, big boy," for the 3rd time in 10 minutes, Mac throws a soda can at her. That's not nice. Thelma's wings are clipped, so she can't fly, but she can still hop. She leaps aside just in the nick of time. "Pucker up," she says with a shrill whistle. Max stomps to his office and slams the door shut. I wonder if my visitors have grown tired of me. Maybe if I learn a trick or two, it will help. Humans do seem to enjoy watching me eat. Luckily, I'm always hungry. I am a very gifted eater. A silverback must eat 45 pounds of food a day if he wants to stay a silverback. 45 pounds of fruit and leaves and seeds and stems and bark and vines and rotten wood. Also, I enjoy the occasional insect. I'm going to try to eat more. Maybe then we will get more visitors. Tomorrow, I will eat 50 pounds of food, maybe even 55. That should make Mac happy. 34. Bob. I explain my plan to Bob. "Ivan," he says, "trust me on this one. The problem is not your appetite." He hops onto my chest and licks my chin, checking for leftovers. Bob is a stray, which means he does not have a permanent address. He is so speedy, so wily, it's one of our vocab words, that mall workers long ago gave up trying to catch him. Bob can sneak into cracks and crevices like a tracked rat. He lives well off the ends of hot dogs he pulls from the trash. For dessert, he laps up spilled lemonade and splattered ice cream cones. I've tried to share my food with Bob, but he is a picky eater, and he says he prefers to hunt for himself. Bob is tiny, wiry, and fast, like a barking squirrel. He is nut-colored and big-eared. His tail moves like weeds in the wind, spiraling, dancing. I'm seeing more metaphors and similes here, right? He's wiry and fast like a barking squirrel. So he's comparing Bob to a squirrel. And then he compares his tail. His tail moves like weeds in the wind, spiraling, dancing. So he also compares his tail to weeds in the wind. Let's keep reading. Bob's tail makes me dizzy and confused. It has meanings within meanings, like human words. I am sad, it says. I am happy, it says. Beware, I may be tiny, but my teeth are sharp. Gorillas don't have any use for tails. Our feelings are uncomplicated. Our rumps are unadorned. Excuse me. Bob used to have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Humans tossed them out of a truck on the freeway. When they were a few weeks old, Bob rolled into a ditch. The others did not. So what happened to his brothers and sisters? Yeah, they died. Some people do things like that, and that's not very nice. Page 36. Let's keep reading. His first night on the highway, Bob slept in the icy mud of the ditch. When he woke, he was so cold that his legs would not bend for an hour. The next night, Bob slept under some dirty hay near the Big Top Mall garbage bins. The following night, Bob found a spot in the corner of my domain where the glass is broken. I dreamed that I had eaten a furry donut, and when I woke up in the dark, I discovered a tiny puppy snoring on top of my belly. It had been so long since I felt the comfort of another's warmth that I wasn't sure what to do. Not that I hadn't had visitors. Mac had been in my domain, of course, and many other keepers. I'd seen my share of rats zip past, and the occasional wayward sparrow had fluttered in through the hole in my ceiling, but they never stayed long. I didn't move all night in fear of waking Bob. Wild. Once I asked Bob why he didn't want a home. Humans, I'd noticed, seemed to be irrationally fond of dogs, and I couldn't see why a puppy would be easier to cuddle with than, say, a gorilla. And I could see why, sorry, I misspoke. I could see why a puppy would be easier to cuddle with than, say, a gorilla. Everywhere is my home, Bob answered. I am a wild beast, my friend, untamed and undaunted. I told Bob he could work in the show, like Snickers, the poodle who rides Stella. Bob said Snickers sleeps on a pink pillow in Mac's office. He said she eats foul-smelling meat from a can. He made a face. His lips curled, revealing tiny needles of teeth. Poodles, he said, are parasites. Metaphor. Picasso. We're on page 38. Mac gives me a fresh crayon, a yellow one, and 10 pieces of paper. Time to earn your keep, Picasso, he mutters. I wonder who this Picasso is. Does he have a tire swing like me? Does he ever eat crayons? I know I've lost my magic, so I try my very best. I clutch the crayon and think. Sorry. I scan my domain. What is yellow? A banana. I draw a banana. The paper tears, but only a little. I lean back, and Mac picks up the drawing. Another day, another scribble, he says. 1 down, 9 to go. What else is yellow? I wonder, scanning my domain. I draw another banana. And then I draw 8 more. Page 40. This is the last one Ms. Halverson's going to read. 3 visitors. 3 visitors are here. A woman, a boy, a girl. I strut across my domain for them. I dangle from my tire swing. I ate 3 banana peels in a row. The boy spits at my window. The girl throws a handful of pebbles. Sometimes I'm glad the glass is there. Sounds like a naughty boy and a naughty girl to me. All right, scholars, so on your own, you're going to have to read pages 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. So, in our packet page here, we're going to write finish reading pages 41 through 45, and this is going to be due on September 30th. That's this Wednesday. Yep. Okay, so due on September 30th. Finish reading pages 41 through 45. And then we're going to do one more thing together. We are going to do number 3, the inferring question together. So it says, on the lines below, write one quote from the text that supports the following sentence. Stella is a good friend to Ivan. Think. What is a sentence from the text that shows she is a good friend? So if we're looking for a direct quote, going to have to go back to the chapter that's called Stella. It's on page 27. Page 27. It's all about Stella. I'm going to read this quick. Oh. Okay, I see one part where Stella gives Ivan a compliment. So on page 28, it says, what is a sentence from the text that shows she is a good friend? It is quite a belly, my friend. Comma. That's going to be my sentence. It's quite a belly, my friend. And then I'm going to say Stella is complimenting Ivan. Okay, I don't want you to write your quote about Ivan. Well, back up. First, do you see how I wrote the words exactly how they are in the book? So when we're doing a quotation, we do quotation marks first. We write word for word what the book says, and then we close with another quotation. Okay? So I want you to finish the reading, though, before you choose what quote to use, because Stella might come back up in the reading. You never know. Okay, so that's going to be my quote. So you can use my quote if you want to. If you can find a different quote that shows that Stella is a good friend to Ivan, go ahead and use it. All right, so we already have done the quick write. You're going to do the vocab on your own. We infer that Stella's a good friend. And then you're going to write 2 things about Stella, 2 things about Bob. You should easily be able to come up with that. If you would like a challenge, how about you do 1 personality trait and 1 physical trait of each of these 2 animals? Okay. And then analysis. Why it was bad? Why was Mac in a bad mood these chapters? Remember, Ivan said he's in a bad mood. Why? All right, friends. Make sure that you're answering all of your questions in full sentences. I know you can do it. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time with the one and only Ivan. Bye.